Good evening. Your time now is 5:52. I'm Jeannette Reyes.
And I'm Ona Kosaramdi, and this is Awf The Record.
Not for real. This is Awf The Record.
Immediately, you had that effect on me where I was like, who is this girl?
Tanner Adell.
Tanner Adell.
Tanner Adell. Next Women of Country 2024 by the New York Times.
Queen Bee.
Sing along with her on Blackbird.
Beyonce Giselle Knowles Carter herself.
Buckle Bunny. He's a Buckle Bunny.
From a young age, I thought Tanner Adell is a star. Tanner Adell is that girl. We were crying at Renaissance when she came out. That was my first time seeing Beyonce live. I always looked at that and was like, yeah, I'm gonna do that. That's how hard I want her.
What else is on your vision board next 3 to 5 years?
You know, a nice, big, fat, juicy album. Who has slid into your DMs?
Oh my gosh, no! You have nothing else up your sleeve, no secrets, no nothing that you might surprise us with. Tanner Adell, welcome to the group chat.
Thank you. I'm really excited to be here, you guys.
So I guess we'll start with the most obvious question. A year ago, did you for a second picture the life that you have now? I mean, it's been a whirlwind.
Yeah, I think it's a lot of hard work is paying off, and it's like you always work towards something, and you always work towards it thinking that you're going to get it, but there are very few instances where I feel like I've gotten it this hard. You know what I mean? I feel like I've been working for this, and it's still kind of like I'm still processing that a lot of my goals I have reached, and I'm working on new goals and setting higher bars and working on reaching those next.
What has been the most surprising thing to come out of all of this?
Oh my goodness. I would probably say Shaquille O'Neal.
Not Shaq.
Yeah, he did a remix of Buckle Bunny, and I got to go perform it with him in Nashville, and he's kind of my little homie now. So that's got to be the most surprising thing is Shaq is Unc now.
Who would have thunk it, huh?
Uncle Shaq.
What's been the biggest adjustment for you?
Schedule. For sure. I've been busy before, but, I got in here last night, woke up this morning and photo shoot, an interview, and then coming here and doing this. I have a studio session booked tonight to finish up some stuff before I have more stuff tomorrow, but then fly home tomorrow night to Nashville because I've got more stuff in Nashville. So it's been, it's a whirlwind, and it's definitely an adjustment getting my sleep schedule down and remembering to eat. But yeah.
Did you anticipate this? Did you know that the minute the world finds out that it was going to be a flood of just reactions and bookings, were you preparing yourself?
Yes and no. I think there's no way to fully prepare yourself for anything like this. You don't really know until it happens. But, I have a lot of really good team members. I have an incredible team, and they have helped other people grow their careers. And I've been told multiple times, like, when it happens, it goes fast. And I was just like, okay, when it happens, it goes fast. And there were points where I thought, oh, it's going fast. But like now I'm like, it's going fast. Now I'm starting to see what I've been told. And it's really wild. It's really wild.
I'm curious, now that you mentioned that, who has been, like, is there another celebrity who's been kind of your mentor behind the scenes, or who's told you, like, hey, this is what you should look out for, or whatever?
Yeah, there have been a lot of people who have reached out and just said, like, hey, I see you and I love what you're doing. Halsey is one of those people who reached out and was like, girl, you just keep going. And a lot of these things were happening before my Beyonce collaboration. And now, obviously, the flood of kind of this light being shown, and I'm being discovered more because of that. Getting a lot of messages, but one of my kind of go-to confidants and someone who has been very supportive from day one is Mickey Guyton, who is a country singer, if you don't know who Mickey is. And she's, I'm constantly picking up the phone to call her, or she's sending me a text, hey, I heard maybe something didn't go your way, but like you're just killing it and you just keep going. And so she's been very, very supportive and a big help because she's been doing this for a long time, and I've got a lot of lessons to learn, and she's willing to help teach me. So
you're at the CMAs. What was that like? It gave you a lot to take in, the red carpet, the interviews. What was the CMAs like?
I I wanted to make a statement.
Yeah.
And I think if you know, you know. And my hair said everything I needed to say.
So those were Bantu knots. Can you confirm? Okay.
They were, yes. I was able to collaborate with a designer named Natalia Fedner. She's who did my dress, and I've admired her work for a really long time. So it was great to be able to. I'm like a fashion girl, so for me, even the smallest thing, I'm like thinking, okay, well, y'all, I'm in a t-shirt right now, but t-shirts, they could be fashion too. I'm a t-shirt girl. I think we know that by now. But it's so special to be at a point in my life where I can kind of go hand in hand with a designer and design things that I've dreamt up.
So who's a designer you'd love to work with?
Oh, man. Well, Natalia, I've been checking a lot of people off my list of
That's a good problem to have.
Who I want to work with. But Natalia really was the person that I wanted to work with, and now I have. Yeah.
So I'm going to take this moment to say that I'm one of the people that knew who you were before the Beyonce, obviously, collaboration. You came through my For You page, and I stopped, and I was like, who is this girl?
Did you follow me?
Of course I did. Immediately.
Receipt.
Because,
No, just kidding.
I know.
Just kidding. I'm totally joking.
We will put that in post edit because you're not going to play me. I'm just kidding. But no, so I knew who you were, and immediately you had that effect on me where I was like, who is this girl? And then I was like 37 weeks deep, right, scrolling through.
Oh, man.
But I mean, there's still so much to learn about you. So who is Tanner Adell? Like, take us back to the girl who grew up in Manhattan Beach and also Star Valley, Wyoming.
Yes.
Who is that girl?
I've lived a lot of life. I really loved the way that I grew up, even though, sometimes it wasn't my favorite thing. Being a teenager I was definitely a nobody understands me 13-year-old. And Star Valley and Manhattan Beach are very, very, very different. And my summers were in Star Valley, but my school year was in Manhattan Beach. And so it was kind of like I'd make friends, but then I wouldn't really see people through the summer because I'd be in Wyoming, and that's where all my cousins were and all what I felt like were my really real best friends, the people who knew the real me. I never had a lot of friends. I've always been a very, I don't want to say introverted because I feel like it's sounding like a negative thing, but introspective. I like my alone time, and for my friends and I like one-on-one time, and I like being able to really connect with people in small situations. And Wyoming is that for me. California is a lot more big friend groups and seems a little more artificial and a little fake when you get into like Hollywood and all of that. But especially where I grew up, there weren't many biracial kids. There weren't many black kids that went to my school. And it sometimes felt, and there weren't many in Wyoming either. Let me make that very clear. In a population of 16,000 people, it was me and my siblings were the black kids. But it's so interesting when I think back. I felt so accepted, way more accepted in Wyoming. And maybe it's because I was surrounded by family, but way more accepted in Wyoming than I ever did in Manhattan Beach. If you know, I'm adopted. I have 4 siblings. We're all biracial. My parents did not try to do that. It's just like what happened. And both of my parents are Caucasian. And my dad one time, my dad's very special. I think he just kind of knew school was not my favorite thing. And he asked me, he's like, have you experienced any like different treatment because of being black? And at the time I said, no, I've never, but now looking back, I think on the times where I got bullied for my hair, and I don't even have an extremely tight curl pattern. I'm, maybe in the B's, but it's also a mix, some wavy, some S curl. But I look back and you'd think it'd be reversed because California has so much culture. But in actuality, my country world was where I felt the absolute safest. So it doesn't even surprise me that this is where I've ended up.
How does that factor into or influence you as a singer? Like, what was Tanner the musician? How was she developing during that time?
Well, I have separated the Tanner from the Tanner Adell. And, you know, Tanner Adell goes out on stage and does like the scary stuff. And Tanner is that heart, but she's protected by the Tanner Adell of it all. And I think that really does just stem from being a kid, jumping back and forth and not really feeling like I had a solid friend group anywhere and feeling like I was constantly leaving. And, but yeah, I think I separated those two things. I've known for a really long time this is what I've wanted to do. And I always thought this way. Like from a young age, I thought Tanner Adell is a star. And that's my real name. Tanner is my first name. Adell is my middle name after my grandma. And that I just always put it like Tanner Adell is that girl.
For people who don't know, really quickly, the back and forth, if you can explain why you would go back and forth.
So my mom kind of grew up the same way. She's from Santa Barbara and Star Valley. Her school year was spent in Santa Barbara, and then the summers were spent in Star Valley. And that's just kind of what I did too. All of my extended family is in Utah and Idaho and Wyoming.
And so it was to spend time with family.
Yeah, yeah. All my summers were there, just school year in California. And no one really knew. Like one of my best friends, her name's Jacqueline, and she didn't even know till like maybe 2 or 3 years ago. She like asked, she was like, you talk about like Wyoming, is that where you were going like during the summers? Because, you know, friends have birthday parties and things like that. And nobody knew where I was going. No one knew that I was doing this, but that was my favorite part of my life. That was everything I looked forward to. It was what got me through math class, was knowing my summer was coming back.
Yeah. So during those, you know, those transformative years, who were your musical inspirations?
There are definitely a couple. I feel, and I love our young babies, you know, growing up now, 5 and 6 years old, and they get to see this Beyonce, the Renaissance 3-act Beyonce. But I really grew up on Beyonce going solo. You know,
Crazy in Love.
Yeah, like that's really where, and I was young at that point, but that was all over the radio, and she was like, whoa. I think Beyonce taught me a lot of confidence. And it's like, I'm not even trying to talk about, this would be if I were on the album or not, I'd be talking about her this way.
Oh, we've seen the interviews.
Yeah, it just happens to be, you know.
Yeah.
She really is someone that I look up to a lot in the way that she has presented herself to the world in so much grace and skill, but her work ethic, you know, I always looked at that and was like, yeah, I'm going to do that. That's how hard I want to work.
And did you truly believe that? Like, there are some people who they're like, no, I'm not crazy. Y'all are. I'm gonna be there. It's just a matter of time.
Yeah.
Was that you? Like, you just knew?
Always. I'm learning so much about energy, and I feel like how the universe really works. And I don't know if the future version of myself that's sitting here now is, you know, sending little messages like, yo, like, you're gonna do it. And but my whole life I've always said, I know I'm gonna work with her, you know. It'll be my time. I know that will happen. I didn't even have to give it a second thought because I just knew.
So I'm glad you brought that up. Because we mentioned pulling receipts. We're going to pull yours and we'll show her.
No, we'll pull receipts.
So you tweeted out February 11th, and I quote, as one of the only black girls in the country music scene, I hope B decides to sprinkle me with a dash of her magic for a collab. So people are saying this is proof of the power of manifestation. So the question is, was this you manifesting working with Beyonce in that moment?
I don't think it was I didn't get on there and think, I'm going to put this out into the universe and manifest it. For me, when I manifest and I do my affirmations and I write things down on pieces of paper and put it under my pillow and sleep with it there, and then I burn it the next day because you got to let it go. You can't hold on to these things, you know. You manifest it and then you need to let it go and the universe brings it back to you is what I think works for me. I don't share my manifestations or things that the things that I want. I don't talk about those things.
So then do you share the things that you already have?
No.
So then...
I mean, I think you can see those things. But with that, I genuinely was like, closed mouths don't get fed.
Oh,
Okay.
And I knew with her dropping those 2 songs, I just knew that, and Twitter, you know Twitter, I knew that it would catch. And that was going to be my best shot at getting her attention.
So, girl, you're really telling me in that moment, there was no communication back and forth actively about you being on this album?
At that moment, when I tweeted, X'd that, that was in full hope that she would see me and include me. And I didn't know, I didn't think it might, sure, the album, sure, you know. But I was just hoping it'd be like, maybe after, maybe a remix, you know, all of that stuff.
You know what's interesting? You say that, and it reminds me of a tweet that I saw in response to that. You probably know which one I'm talking about, where someone said, girl, she already did this album.
Oh, so many people said that. And it's so funny because the tweet resurfaced 2 weeks ago, and all my people went and found all those and said, gotcha. Oh, guess what? She's on it. Oh, ooh, ooh.
That's got to feel good.
Definitely feels great. I just don't subscribe. You know, I just don't subscribe to that kind of thinking. What people don't realize, and I've been in the music industry for 3 years that I've been releasing music, and I think what people don't realize is how I could upload an album digitally right now and drop it in an hour.
so
It's digital.
I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but I had a theory about that conspiracy because I did see the video that you posted where
one?
you
Which
were. You're like, oh,
I know, I'm so many.
where you were crying at Renaissance when she came out. It was her birthday concert. Yeah. She came out and you were crying, and I was like, she knew, that's why. But you had no idea. So walk me through what you were feeling in that moment.
That was my first time seeing Beyonce live. Homecoming, the documentary, I was gonna say doc, and then I felt like people might not know. The Homecoming documentary for Beachella was what got me through 2020. I watched it pretty much every day. Not even pretty much, I watched it every day. I skipped 3 classes at school to get home to be able to watch it when it dropped and when it came out, which was 2019? Was it 2019? Just so I could watch it because I had never really experienced her before. And I think I watched it twice in a row. I watched it the first time, and then the second time I was learning all the dance moves. And I just sat there on my couch tears, just tears. And with Black is King, I had to turn it off halfway through because I was hyperventilating because I just felt so connected. It's just always been that way for me. I've always felt very connected to her. And I don't really know why. I don't know how to explain why. But it's just always been in the back of my head.
So you shoot your shot.
Shot my damn shot.
And then that phone rings.
Ring, ring, bitch. Literally.
What happens? Walk me through that moment.
I think use your imagination.
Okay. What can you tell us?
I can tell you that I was extremely excited, and I'm still excited, and I'm still processing.
I do want to wrap with this part, because everybody has, or most people have, this someone that they've been looking up to either most of their lives, or it's just their main motivator. I want to be there.
Yeah.
When you get there, what does it do within you to little Tanner?
I mean, a couple days after, it was the realization that my biggest goal had been achieved. So what now? You know what I mean? And I'm still a really young artist. I haven't been doing this for very long. Like I said, I've only been releasing music since the summer of 2021. 3 years, almost 3 years. In June, it'll be 3 years exactly. I'm a baby in this industry, and I'm taking it as a huge win. Thank you, B. But I am constantly writing music, constantly recording new music. I just dropped Whiskey Blues like 4 days ago, and people are loving it. And I'm really excited to be compiling an album.
So let's talk about Buckle Bunny. Yeah. Finish a sentence for me.
Oh my God.
A Buckle Bunny is...
There's so many ways I could go with this. A Buckle Bunny is a person, because I don't think we should just narrow it down to women at this point. A Buckle Bunny is someone who knows who they are, what they want, and is not afraid to go and get it.
I like that.
Yeah.
Because when I heard the song, I was like, yes, I'm a buckle. And then I went into the comment section, which don't ever go in the comment section, and somebody was like, you don't want to say that. You don't want to call yourself that. And I was confusion. I was confusion. And then I did some Googling and I found out what it means. And it's actually a derogatory term, right?
Yes. And I think there are lots of, I don't want to say small-minded, because it's not small-minded, but it's like a little bubble or a little box. There are a lot of people who put themselves in a box and don't allow themselves to think outside the box and think bigger. Gretchen Wilson kind of did it with Redneck Woman. That's one of the only other examples I can say in country music, because it doesn't happen much in country music, but it happens in pop and hip hop with women all the time. Why do we say, I'm a badass bitch? I thought bitch was a bad word. I thought that was a bad thing. Or diva, or my hoes. Like, it just hadn't been done in country before. I did the same thing.
Were you nervous about the reception, though?
No.
So then...
I knew my people would find me. You know what I mean? I
Yeah.
knew that there would be people who understood.
What I'm getting, the common thread with you throughout all of this, is that you seem to have a strong sense of self and care very little about what people say, except for the people who matter to you.
Yeah.
Does that sound about right?
Yeah. Well, it's such a waste of energy, you know, to try and please everybody. With social media, you have the ability to reach so many people, and regardless of the kind of music you're making, there is a lid for every pot, you know? And I was just waiting for mine, and I think I found it.
I want to talk about TikTok and your music being muted, along with a lot of other artists.
Yes.
The timing of all of that.
Yeah.
And I think I saw a video of yours where you were just kind of talking about, like, it just, how did you feel in that moment when people because I remember I was also doing the deep dive into your videos and saw so many of them muted. How do you feel when you're getting this influx of people and that's happening?
You know, Buckle Bunny was like really, it was maybe on like 1 week of just, exploding. And it was definitely frustrating when I saw that it got muted, because a lot of my other music is still on there, but Buckle Bunny was doing so well that we just think it got flagged and muted, obviously. Really frustrating as an independent artist and for many small artists. And it's definitely a touchy subject. It's a sensitive topic, because they're just trying to make sure that people are getting, you know, paid rightfully, because TikTok is such a massive music app now, and there are a lot of people who've worked hard on music that aren't getting paid. Now, the flip side of that is, if you're willing to put your whole career onto this song and put your face on social media every single day and go rep this song and play this song 100 times this summer, then be my guest. But as for the artists that are out here busting their butts on social media to try and promote this song that, you know, we write these as friends and comrades and people that we trust, and it's a team effort, but at the end of the day, the artist is the face. And if we can't get the music out there on one of the most influential apps, it's detrimental to the music at the end of the day, and it hurts everybody.
And I want to touch on your grassroots marketing because I feel like, and you can confirm this for me, that in the last 3 years, you have put in a lot of work. I found out about you through TikTok. You did a lot of grassroots marketing to get your music out there, to get people to know who you were. And so I could only imagine that as an independent artist, that is how you do it these days.
Yeah, yes.
Pros and cons of being an independent artist?
Not many cons, honestly. I am bougie on a budget. I always have been. My mom took me thrifting at a very young age.
I
sew my own clothes, do my own stuff, and I love thrifting. So for me, I think I can make a lot happen out of nothing. Every pro is being independent, is every pro.
So currently, you just released Whiskey Blues. Buckle Bunny's still charting as well. So you have 2 songs that are charting, and you tweeted out this as an independent artist, right? This is, I'm paraphrasing now, but this is wild. What did you mean by that? And what kind of, how big of a feat is it for an independent artist to have 2 songs on the charts?
Yeah, I've just come out of a label deal in January, came out of a label deal after being there for a year. It just wasn't the right thing for me. And it was kind of a snap back to reality a little bit. I thought being signed meant that you could, not even that you could, but that someone would kind of, not give you everything, but help you. And my team is just so strong. When you see part of them over there, my team is extremely strong. And when you don't have kind of like these walls up or hoops that you have to jump through, it just makes the creative process streamlined. It makes it so much easier on me going into the studio with not a care in the world other than I'm going to come out with my favorite song that I've written so far, and I'll beat it tomorrow and I'll beat it the next day. Being independent means we're roughing it, we're getting scrappy and doing the most that we can on the budget that I can. And I'm so grateful for brands that are taking chances on me and helping. Those are the people that are helping me fund my touring. Those are the people that are helping me fund my the records that I want to put out. The fans are a huge, huge reason why I'm able to release music and go on tour. They they share, they comment, and it seems so small or insignificant, but that shows that I'm wanted. And they sold out all my merch.
And that's a lot to keep you
pays
going.
for my career to be able to go see them in their cities. It's really wild. Being independent's wild. It's a whole different ballgame.
It is. I mean, all of it falls on you. So 2020, in the midst of the pandemic, you moved to Nashville.
Yes.
That's, to me, I feel like that's not an easy market.
2021. So
2021.
Like a year and a half after everything hit. Yes. Still kind of pandemic-y.
So I know, I'm pretty sure that there was still.
Aren't we still?
Yeah. We're still in the thick of it. I'm not gonna lie. But I can only imagine that that's not an easy market to penetrate. I mean, that's just like trying to become an actor in Hollywood. You don't just show up and say that you're here to be a star.
Yeah.
What was that like for you?
Yeah. Nashville especially is about creating relationships and really finding your people. Luckily for me, that's how I thrive, is having really good relationships with people, and that's how I want to write music. But I just found, my crew and kept my head down and just kind of blocked out the noise, and here I am.
So if we were to look at your vision board,
Ooh.
a lot of things are crossed out in a good way.
In a great way.
What else is on your vision board next 3 to 5 years?
Oh, wow, 3 to 5 years. Okay. First and mostly, I want a big project. I want a nice, big, fat, juicy album. And I really, really would love to have a headlining tour. Yeah.
Well, if this is any indication, what's been going on now, I think you're well on your way.
I really hope so.
I do, before we wrap, want to talk about someone who is very influential and almost kickstarted your career. You talk a lot about your vocal coach. Can you tell me a little bit about her and how she was the one who inspired you?
Yes. Nancy. She's so sweet. She's a big mentor for me. She helped me get through a lot. And I had debilitating stage fright and anxiety. Never had a vocal lesson, but in my freshman year of college, I auditioned for the commercial music program, and it basically, when you got accepted, it came with a vocal coach. There were a couple different ones, and I got blessed with Nancy. And the first day that I went in there, I played her something all quiet and kind of shy, and she was like, you could really do this. And I was like, I can't go to class and sing without like getting physically ill. And she taught me techniques on how to be confident and how to be technically proficient in my voice, so that when I went out on stage or when I had class, that I would have those skills to fall back on, instead of not really understanding and just trying to sing something. I learned how my vocal cords work and what happens how I breathe when I'm singing, and all of those things that make me go, this show's gonna go perfectly, because I know technically I'm perfect. I can do anything. And she worked with me for about a year on that, and I haven't had stage fright since. Performing on stage is my favorite part of what I do.
Speaking of stage, you were on stage at the CMAs.
Yes.
With the other women that are on Blackbird, and you guys got matching tattoos?
Yes. They're all a little bit different. I don't know if you can see this. They're all a little different. I went with a little chubby bird with little cowboy boots on it. And we all got a different tattoo, but had to do with Blackbird, and went to the same tattoo artist.
Who came up with the idea?
Yeah, me.
And what was their reaction when you said that?
Well, I was going to get a tattoo regardless. I was already looking for who could, do what I wanted. And there had been we have a group chat called the Blackbirds. And there were already ideas for what should we do? Should we sing a cover of it? And I was kind of like, well, I'm going to go get a tattoo. Should we all get Blackbird tattoos and like document it and like make a cute video with it? So like to be announced. Hopefully there'll be a video from all of our little tattoo experiences coming out soon. But, this experience is something that no one has ever experienced, and how we experienced it, especially, plus this song that we're even on, is something that has never been done and will never be done again. And it's a very unique experience to us. Yeah, so this was a commemoration of this massive touchdown.
Beyonce herself said that the reception she got at the CMAs, I believe in 2016, sparked Cowboy Carter.
Oh, yeah.
What was the reception that you guys got in 2024 at the CMAs?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like there was nothing but love. I was approached by many people who are country music legends, who knew me by name and stopped to tell me, congratulations, country music needs you. What you're doing is amazing. And I love Ashley McBride. And I've loved following her career the last couple years, and I was like, be cool. It's like, be cool. She's so hot. And went over to her, and I was like, hi, like, you don't know me yet, but I'm Tanner Adell. I just want to say, like, I just think you're so cool. And she was like, oh my God, no, I literally listened to your music. I was like listening to it when I was getting ready for tonight. Those are the reactions and responses I've had with people who I look up to, and I'm like, can't wait to meet you, kind of losing my cool a little bit when I do get to meet you. the responses that I've been getting have been so supportive.
So was that surprising to you, or you were expecting that it wouldn't be negative? Do you see what I'm saying?
I don't know. I think I tend to remain very neutral. I don't like, there's been so many people that have projected onto me in my life that I do my best not to judge or project onto other people. And I walk into everything with an open mind.
And wait till you experience it firsthand.
And I was met with absolute respect and love.
I can't wait to see the next generation of country artists that you guys inspire. I'm really excited about that.
Same. And I hope it isn't, I hope this moment isn't fleeting. I hope this isn't just a trend. And I hope other young artists are inspired by these moments and not afraid to kind of take a little jump into the country pool. Yeah.
My last question, Buckle Bunny remix.
Yeah.
Who are we giving a verse to?
Oh my gosh. Well, love Meg Thee Stallion. I've seen so many comments that are like, Meg would kill this. She's a Texas girl. She wears the hats. She's always repped Western wear. And the second verse of that, I rap that whole second verse, and I just want to hear, I just want to hear it. I need to hear her on that. Shout out, Meg.
Great collab.
Buckle Bunny, Captain Hook. We got this.
Come on, girl. Hotties.
All right. So we're going to play a little game with you before we send you off. We're going to wrap it up with, it's called On The Record. So it is a rapid fire questions, and you could say no comment to one.
Oh,
you ready?
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
No comment to one.
Do I have like a time limit?
No.
Just as fast as I can?
We're just going to keep you here all
Lightning
day.
round.
That's it.
Okay.
You comfortable
Let me
anyways,
think
girl.
about this.
All right. So, since everything has happened, who has slid into your DMs?
Oh my gosh, no.
Some people are already thinking that a certain Canadian is parked in them DMs.
Just waiting in the request folder.
Okay, do you want to know the funniest thing? So the DMs, the DMs are full.
Yes. Verified check marks.
But there is someone who goes through them and kind of marks the ones, especially for fans. There's so many, and will send me things. Hey, look at this, and I'll go and respond to stuff. My main job is the comments. I go through the comments myself. But I'm gonna have to politely say no comment.
We should have never gave you
Canadian is crazy. That's crazy.
No.
I should have never gave her that option.
I know, right? Okay, so then totally different question.
Your best news voice. Give her the official.
My best news voice?
Sorry.
Oh, I literally
Unless
thought
you
you were
want to
telling me.
answer in the anchor voice. I mean, listen.
I don't even know what I'd say.
So, Tanner Adell,
Yes.
whose DMs, direct messages for those who don't know, whose DMs would you want to slide into? Or have slid in?
Closed
into?
mouths don't get fed, girl. You said it yourself.
You know who I have? I'll give you two. Oh my God. Trippy Red
Really? You have?
and Kodak Black.
Which one? I'm not
think
for
it's
Trippy. I'm trying to figure out which one.
You don't know Kodak Black?
No, I do.
Okay, I
No,
was
we
like,
do. But I'm trying to figure out which one to ask you about. So how did it go with Kodak Black?
He did not hit me back.
What?
Maybe I should hit him up again.
Maybe he didn't see. Maybe it's stuck in the request
Maybe.
and then the hidden, which is
Maybe.
like right.
He's like, I love him. I think he's so cute, and I think he's so funny, and that would be a collaboration that I would really, really welcome in the country space. I would love to do something with Kodak.
I'm here. He's a Southern boy.
Period.
Florida boy.
Period.
All right, number 3. Tanner Adell. Who is the one person that deserves I told you so?
Oh my God.
Look at me now.
Look at me now.
Hey.
There's a couple people that I really want to say, but I'm not going to say it into this mic. I will say no. I can't. I'm not even gonna say. I'm not even gonna say.
Katrina from the 3rd grade, girl.
I don't even want to say the girl's name also that was not very nice to me. I'm not even gonna give her that moment.
Yeah, because your fans go hard, so we really
that part. I told you so. This is also hard because the people that I would say that to are people that I definitely just can't say. There's not many of them because honestly, a lot of people have been like, yeah, you're going to do that. User 590662418, I told you so. All your private pages, I told you so. Mm-hmm.
All right. Is there anyone who was like, or that you asked for a feature that was like, nah, I'm good?
Oh. No, there have been people that I think we've reached out to that have had a lot going on and it just wasn't the right time and it hasn't been the right time for it. But I'm hoping a couple of those maybe through this year will maybe want to hop on something.
I'm obsessed with the Meg Thee Stallion, and I love that we got it on camera because, girl, the day it happens,
roll the tape.
You heard it here first.
Period.
Breaking news.
Yes.
I do want to end lastly, if you just want to give a message to everyone that's supporting you. I know your DMs are flooded. You can't thank everybody through messages. Send them a message right now.
Where do I look if I want to look into the camera?
I think it's the middle camera.
This one?
Yeah. Oh, is it
this one?
That one? Okay.
Okay. First, thank you so much for every little ounce of support. I've been saying the last year, I'm manifesting, but when you put out those comments that are, she's going to be on Beyonce's album, she's going to do this, she's going to be whatever, that's also y'all manifesting, and it's just this giant, beautiful energy of manifestation happening, and I thank you for that and for the belief and for speaking it, truly speaking it on my page and coming for the people so that I don't have to, coming for the people that, sometimes will leave comments on my page that are unsavory and uncute, and defending me through thick and thin. Thank you for fighting with me to get Buckle Benny out after 9 months of fighting for that song to come out and treating it so good. Thank you for streaming Whiskey Blues. I have so much more planned for you guys. You deserve it. I'm listening. I read all of your comments. I try to read all of the DMs. I see you and I hear you, and that is how I'm going into 2024.
I love that.
We are rooting for you from the mountaintop, girl.
Real quick, because with her, I get nervous because you have nothing else up your sleeve. No secrets, no nothing that you might surprise us with.
No, I nothing.
Okay.
I got nothing.
Okay.
I got nothing.
Well, thank you so much for sitting down with us. We really did enjoy you, and we wish you so much luck and continued.
Thank you.
We have it on rotation.
Yeah, right?
Buckle Bunny on rotation.
I love it.
And thank you so much for joining us and for joining the group chat. Make sure you share this with your friends. Invite them to the group chat, and we'll keep it on and off the record.